Let us start with a truth nobody wants to say out loud. Attention is no longer power. Connection is. In 2015, if you had followers, you had leverage. Today, if you don't have a community, you're invisible no matter how many views you get. I've seen creators hit 1 million followers and then disappear 6 months later, not because their content got worse, but because they never built roots. If you want to stay relevant, build loyalty, and make a real impact, you need more than eyeballs. You need people who believe in what you stand for. So today, we re-diving deep, and I mean deep, into why community is the most valuable asset of the next digital decade. We'll break down the psychology, the data, examples from top brands, and most importantly, how you can start building your own ecosystem, even if you're just starting out right now. Let's go. For the last 10 years, marketing has been built on one obsession: attention. Who can get more views, more clicks, more impressions? That's how platforms grew, and that's how creators survived. But here's the problem. Attention doesn't equal trust anymore. In 2020, the average digital ad conversion rate was around 3%. Now, it's dropped below 1%. Why? Because people have become immune to noise. Our brains are overloaded. Every day, we see between 4,000 and 10,000 marketing messages. So even if you win a second of someone's attention, you've already lost their trust if there's no connection behind it. That's why we've entered what I call the belonging economy. The belonging economy is driven by identity, not information. We no longer ask, what does this brand sell? We ask, what does this brand mean about me? This is why community beats audience every single time. An audience listens to you. A community talks to each other. When people interact, share, and co-create, you stop being just a voice online. You become a home. Let's look at this from a psychological point of view, because community isn't a social media trend. It's a biological need. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs places belonging right in the center, just after safety. Before success, before achievement, before creativity, humans need to feel connected. In fact, studies from Stanford and MIT show that people who feel part of a group are up to 30% more motivated and 50% more likely to take consistent action. So when you build a brand that fosters belonging, you're not manipulating. You're aligning with human nature. Marketing used to be about persuasion. Now it's about participation. And participation changes everything. Think about it. When someone belongs to your world, they don't just buy your product. They defend it, they promote it, they shape it. That's why Apple doesn't have customers, it has believers. That's why Nike doesn't sell shoes, it sells self-expression. And that's why Mr. Beast isn't just a YouTuber, he's a community architect. His audience doesn't just watch, they feel like part of something huge. That's the modern formula. Involvement equals influence. Let's bring in some numbers, because this isn't just philosophy, it's backed by data. A recent CMX report shows brands with strong communities achieve 3 to 5 times higher customer retention and double the lifetime value. HubSpot research found that creator-led communities generate 40% higher ROI than traditional ad campaigns. An Accenture survey revealed that 68% of Gen Z buyers choose brands that let them participate or contribute to something bigger. And McKinsey projects that by 2027, over 60% of online commerce will happen through community-driven ecosystems, not traditional ads. So when we talk about community, we're talking about the next marketing infrastructure. It's not a nice-to-have, it's your future-proof business model. The brands that understand this, like Notion, Glossier, and Duolingo, are designing their entire customer experience around conversation loops rather than sales funnels. Because here's the secret. Every time someone feels heard, your marketing cost drops. Let's connect this to modern marketing theory. In traditional marketing, we talked about the 4 Ps: product, price, place, and promotion. Today, those have evolved into what I call the 4 Cs of community marketing. First is connection, the emotional bridge between you and your people. Second is co-creation. You don't create for them. You create with them. Third is continuity. It's not about viral moments. It's about consistent belonging. And fourth is contribution. Your members feel valuable when they can add value. This shift creates what psychologists call psychological ownership. When people feel they're a part of something, they act like owners. That's why communities outperform influencer marketing or one-off campaigns. It's the difference between transactional attention and transformational connection. Now let's talk practical steps. How do you actually build this? First, start with your why together. Your community doesn't need to know what you sell. They need to know what you stand for. Ask yourself, why should we grow together? That's your emotional anchor. Second, choose the right home. The future of community isn't public feeds, it's intimate spaces. Platforms like Circle, Geneva, or even private group chats often outperform public groups because they're designed for depth, not just reach. Third, lead with story, not status. Share your learning journey, not just your wins. People connect more with progress than perfection. Fourth, create shared moments. Host live sessions, Q&As, virtual co-working spaces, or monthly rituals. Humans bond over repetition and shared experiences. The most successful communities have traditions, not just discussions. Fifth, reward contribution. People stay where they feel seen. Build recognition systems, member spotlights, badges, shoutouts, or co-creation credits. You're not building followers. You're building co-founders of a culture. And finally, empower your first believers. Every community has the first 10. Treat them like gold because they're your blueprint. Let them shape the rules, host events, and invite others. And remember, don't scale too fast. Scale depth before width. Here's the wild part. Community isn't just emotional capital anymore. It's financial capital. With the rise of the creator economy, tokenized memberships, and micro-brand ecosystems, communities are literally turning into mini economies. People don't just consume content. They invest in creators. Web3 made ownership possible. I made creation easier, but community makes meaning scalable. We're moving from attention monetization to participation monetization. This means instead of buying ads to get customers, your customers become your ads because they're emotionally invested. Think of how Figma, Twitch, or Reddit grew. They built engines powered by shared identity. And here's the paradox of the digital age. Technology scales everything except trust. Trust must be earned, and community is the system that scales trust organically. Let me leave you with this. You don't need more followers. You need believers. You don't need a viral video. You need a vision people want to walk with. A community protects you from algorithm changes, from burnout, from competition. It's your ecosystem, your feedback loop, your foundation for long-term impact. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Stop chasing numbers. Start building belonging. In the coming years, the most powerful brands won't be the loudest ones. They'll be the ones that make people feel like they matter because followers come and go. But community? Community stays, and that's the real flex in the next digital era. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.